Buckeye State Credit Union is one of the sponsors of today's Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. If you're unfamiliar with them, let me introduce you to the financial friend you didn't know you needed until right now. Buckeye State Credit Union is a local brand offering a wide range of products, from checking accounts to home equity lines of credit and auto loan. They have some of the lowest rates around and are committed to serving Northeast Ohio. The Cleveland location is in Shaker Heights, but they have 5 brick-and-mortar locations across the state. Buckeye State Credit Union is here to help make your life easier, to make banking more convenient, always putting the customer first, so you leave feeling cared for, valued, and respected. Connect, simplify, and adapt. Those are the core values that make Buckeye State Credit Union the right choice for you. For more information, head to buckeyecu.org. Buckeye State Credit Union, your money simplified. Bull.
Yes.
Guardians.
Yes.
Go. What a win.
First of all, that rain delay was kind of crazy. They delayed the game like 2 hours before it actually rained, but they did eventually play the game, and you got a couple of home runs early. It was a 1-1 game for a long way, and eventually the Guardians win it. Walk-off home run by a Kyle Manzardo deep into the night gives the Guardians the 2-1 win that they desperately needed. Bo Naylor hit a home run, and he's been awful, so maybe that'll get him going. We'll see. I don't have a ton of high hopes because he hasn't really played well since September of 2023. But great performance by Tanner Bibee. We were just talking yesterday about how bad the Guardians' pitching has been, especially their starting rotation. And Bibee went out there and was lights out against the Twins team that had scored 10 the day before against the Guardians. He went 7 innings. I think he had 5 Ks. Gave up the 1 solo home run to Ty France, I think it was, for Minnesota. I think only 5 hits. So, yeah, there you go, 5 hits. He pitched a hell of a game. No walks. He had great command. Gets the no decision because the Guardians...
7 innings, 92 pitches, Bull. To me, that was the most impressive part.
Very efficient. I was surprised they didn't let him go the 8th inning. I saw our guy Nick Fink whining about the rain delay. It was a weird rain delay, but part of the reason... See, here's how it works. Before the game starts, the home team controls whether or not you start the game or have a delay. Once the game starts, the umpires control it. The Guardians, knowing that Tanner Bibee was their starting pitcher, did not want to be in a situation where they started the game and then the rain came and he only got to pitch 2 innings. He's their best pitcher. They're even though he hasn't been great so far this year, their bullpen's overworked, and so they were worried about that. That's why they delayed the game and did. I know it's not fair to the fans that are waiting there when you see sun and the tarps on the field, but that's why they did it. If Ben Lively had been pitching yesterday or it was a bullpen game, they probably would have started the game on time. But the team has control, and that's how you take advantage of it. And because of that, Tanner Bibee was able to go 7 innings, probably could have started the 8th. But I think he pitched so well, they were like, all right, let's get him out of here, 92 pitches or whatever it was. I think another interesting thing to look at from this game is that Emmanuel Clase is back in the closer role. Now, there was no save yesterday, but what the Guardians did with their bullpen tells you that they have put Clase, they took him out for like 2 days when Clase came in the 8th, the last opportunity, and Kate Smith in the 9th. And Stephen Vogt said it would really just be a temporary thing, and he was right. I mean, he backed it up because Kate Smith in a tie game came in the 8th. And Emmanuel Clase came in the 9th, gave up 1 hit, but didn't give up any runs. He got the win. Now, you could say, well, it was a tie game, so it's different. No. The fact that Kate Smith came in the 8th and Clase came in the 9th, even though it was a tie game, tells you that Stephen Vogt, if it were a save situation, we're going to use Clase in the 9th. Because if the Guardians had scored in the 8th, Clase was coming in the 9th, whether it was tied or they were winning. So it's a show of faith again in Clase. His last 2 appearances have been really strong, only 1 base runner. 4 of his last 5 appearances overall have been good. So hopefully, he gets on track. You see the standings there, obviously very early. We're only about, 20, percent of the season, not even 20% of the season.
Almost at 25. You're 6 games away from 25%.
What are you talking about? 25% is 40 games.
Yeah, and right now they're at...
They've played 29
games.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I was thinking
you're 1 away from 30, which would be like 20%, but that's not even 20%.
Try to do mental math. I'll stop doing that.
It's all right. You're struggling.
I count by 3s.
Bull Fox math.
3s and 7s.
Struggle. All right. So listen, they're in fine shape, even though they haven't played particularly good baseball right now.
Thoughts? You guys put me
Earl
to sleep.
Dustin are like,
You guys put me to sleep there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
They've been sucking lately. It's nice that they got the win yesterday.
Yeah.
In walk-off fashion, or in the ninth, I should say. Yeah.
No, it was walk-off.
Oh, walk-off, I
Yeah.
should say. Excuse me. Go ahead.
The whole how they got the games, it's hard for me to catch the games. I don't enjoy baseball enough to go paying for these subscriptions to go watch. I did see the Kyle
It is very
Manzardo.
hard to find the games.
Yeah,
I'm
it
telling
is.
you.
It's not that hard. What do you mean
like-
it's hard? If you have Fubo,
I'm not paying for football just to go watch the Guardians.
well, how do you watch the Cavs?
I watch the Cavs.
Spectrum.
No,
I have
I
Spectrum.
have YouTube TV, but then I also have the FanDuel Sports.
Right, I
The
know.
the
but you
Cavs
could-
playoff games are now national, so it's not.
Right,
you know,
but
so
you could have. I'm saying you could have Fubo instead of YouTube TV.
No, YouTube TV where it's at.
No, Fubo's better because you can watch the Cavs and Guardians.
Well, YouTube TV is the best thing going.
Yeah,
For what reason?
like
What's better
I'm
about
I'm not changing out YouTube TV
it's,
just to.
It's very the app itself is seamless, and it just
Yeah, but-
it's unlimited DVR, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, who's using a DVR anymore? I mean,
It literally records every college football game for me,
All
and
right,
I have
fine.
access to it. Like, dude,
I'm
it's
just saying.
unbelievable.
All right, I'm committed to watching the Guardians, so I got Fubo TV. I mean, you know, what are you going to do?
I paid the money through the app, the $100.
The MLB.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, or you could do it that way. So anyway, listen, I'm
YouTube TV is great, especially, dude. I'm on the road a ton. It's the best.
Yeah, it is. Although they have Fubo has a better selection of channels. There's more channels.
What are you looking for? Channels?
Some of the sports channels that YouTube TV doesn't have.
Like what?
At YouTube, they don't have the local sports channels, and I don't think they have NFL Network. I believe, right?
They have
or
NFL Network?
MLB Network. One of them, they don't have.
No, it was cool.
I don't know why YouTube TV can't come to an agreement with the local channels. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they need to. It was cool seeing Kyle Manzardo hit that home run. Mike asked us to do our baseball predictions at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I had Money Manzardo for 20 home runs and 80 RBIs, so he well on his way. He well on his
yeah,
way.
He looks
pace.
like a shady character, doesn't he? He looks like he's up to no good.
I saw a stat about Kyle Manzardo.
Yeah.
This is from Luke Patowski,
Yeah.
who does a great job. He works with the Lake County Captains, sending out some interesting stats.
Yeah.
Manzardo has 8 homers and 19 RBIs in Cleveland's first 29 games. The only Cleveland baseball players younger than Manzardo to reach 8 home runs and 19 RBIs in 29 games or fewer. Can you name them, Bowl? There's 2.
Manny Ramirez.
Correct. And the other one you're never going to guess because
Give me a year.
1936.
Oh,
You're
my
never gonna
God,
get it.
I have no idea. Go ahead.
Hal Trotsky Sr.
I have heard of
You've
Hal
heard of him?
Trotsky, but I would never have guessed him. But I have heard of him.
Oh, bad job by you.
That's
You're
crazy.
Our alleged Guardians expert here. Don't you know
Yeah,
Hal
I'm
Trotsky
not. I'm
Sr.
not locked in from the Guardian, the Indians from 90 years ago.
But let me ask you this, though. In all seriousness,
Yeah.
Manzardo, 8 homers already
Yeah,
this
he's been
season.
fantastic.
We had talked about him as a prospect, maybe not a huge power guy, like more of a contact, but not necessarily
I
huge.
thought
We
yeah.
thought he had 20, 30 home run power, but he's on pace for mid-40s, high 50s. Did you
Yeah.
see this level of power from Manzardo prior to this season, or is this level of success, and it could just be early season success?
Yeah, I
whatever.
don't think he's going to hit over 40 home runs, but yeah, I'd be surprised if he doesn't get 30. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get around 30, and that would be amazing. I mean, the Guardians haven't had many power hitters, and you're making up for the loss of Josh Naylor. Now, you could have had Naylor and Manzardo, and Carlos Santana's been absolute trash. But, it's one of the few positives. For all the complaints, and there's been a lot of them, and it's fair, and Rocchio's been awful, and Bo Naylor's been awful. Arias, Manzardo, and Angel Martinez have all played really well, in addition to Quan and Ramirez, who you expect. So you have 5 spots in the lineup. Now, you want to have 8 or 9, but you have 5 spots in the lineup that are pretty good right now. It's not ideal, but it could have been worse, because you only had 2 proven entities coming into the season. And so at least these 3 guys, Manzardo, and even Arias, he was a legit prospect. Now it's taken him a little longer. That happens. Hopefully he can stay there. I'm a little more skeptical about Arias and Martinez than I am about Manzardo. But what Manzardo, and not only is Manzardo of 8 homers and 19 ribbies, which is fantastic, especially on a team that struggles to score runs. Like, if he were in a better lineup, he might have 30 ribbies right now, 35. But he's been extremely clutch. He's got a lot of big hits, like when they really needed him. It's not like he's got a bunch of homers when they're up 7-0. You know what I mean? Like, he's gotten big hits in big moments. He's been real clutch for the Guardians, and that was fun. A walk-off win, especially a walk-off homer, the excitement of that is always a lot of fun to watch.
Two more things on the Guardians I want to ask you about,
Yeah.
Bill. They made a trade today.
Yeah.
Cash considerations for Matt Festa from
They
the
get
Rangers.
Jose Aguilar.
No
Can you-
Jose Aguilar. He's out of baseball.
Can you give us any insight onto who Matt Festa
Matt
is?
Festa is a pitcher who's been – he hasn't been any good. He was with the Twins. He got traded from the Rangers, right? Or the Twins?
Yes, Rangers.
Yeah, he had been with the Twins the last couple of years, Matt Festa. And he's been a guy who's been up and down between the minors and the majors. He hasn't been particularly good when he's pitched. So he's a flyer.
Is that the McKenzie spot?
Well, McKenzie's already off the roster.
No, I know, but to fill that 26 roster
Yeah,
spot.
again, he could also start if they needed him to. Like he started some games. I mean, you can look it up. I mean, he started some games for Minnesota last year in the majors. I don't think his numbers were very good, probably, but
Matt Festa last season started for
the
Mets.
Twins. I mean, for the Twins, right?
No, he never played for the Twins in his life.
What?
Matt Festa
Maybe I'm confusing him with
played for
somebody else.
Seattle, the Mets, and the Rangers.
Oh shoot! There's another Festa on the Twins.
I
Hold
can't
on.
believe a word you ever say again.
Sorry, I know that's a bad job out of me. I know
He
there's
was
a Festa.
he
on
was
the
6-0
Twins.
last year.
Hold on one second. Yes, see, I'm not making this up. You can see it right here. I confused the two Festas. There's a David Festa who is on the Twins. I confused it. He's the one who started. That's a bad job out of me. Matt Festa is a relief pitcher. I'm sorry. I confused the two. I conflated the two. Yes, you said Mariners, right?
He used to play for
He's
the
a veteran. He's probably in his 30s, right?
Yeah, 32 years old.
Yeah, okay. I apologize. It's a bad job out of me. I confused the two Festas. Matt Festa's bounced around a while in the league as a relief pitcher. He had some success with Seattle, didn't he?
Yeah, he was decent pitcher.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. That's fine.
He's got a career 4.6 ERA, 108 games pitched in his career, 117 innings.
Yeah.
Not much of a strikeout
No.
pitcher, but pretty good control. He's got 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, he's a guy. He could easily be gone in a day too. Like they could pick him up. He could make one appearance and then they're designating him for assignment again. He's a journeyman bullpenner. It's a bad job out of me for confusing the Festas. Who knew there'd be two Festas in the majors? But
Director Steve wants me to say you got confessed.
I got confessed it. I did.
Other thing I want to ask real
Yeah.
quick. Slade Ciccone.
Slade Ciccone.
I always add Eldo's name.
Yeah.
Making his first rehab start with Columbus tonight, Bull. How long do you think he'll need in his rehab process before we maybe see him in the majors?
Yeah, so
he was
there's
the big part
definitely-
of the Naylor trade.
There's definitely not two Ciccones in the major leagues. Slade Ciccone.
I'm just laughing because Mikey is between. I work with Mitch, this guy Mitch for
Yeah.
the tennis podcast.
Yeah.
And he's the worst at pronouncing names.
Pronunciations?
Like terrible.
Yeah. Mike struggles with
Mikey's right there with him. I don't know who's worse.
Not my strong suit.
Yeah,
I love you. I love you so much.
But I can
funny
say Daniel
about Mike-
Oyafusi. I can nail that one.
What's funny about Mike is he is like incredibly smart.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
I know, but incredibly talented, skilled. Like he is as skilled a producer as you ever meet. In the
With all
business.
of our strengths and
I'm
weaknesses,
not
man.
exaggerating. And yet you can't spell it. Or you can't spell. Forget spelling. You can't pronounce words.
Hold on, time out.
He can spell.
Sometimes
Anthony's the
when
one
I
who can't
pronounce
spell.
words wrong,
Yeah.
it's because I'm looking at something on the screen and
Yeah.
then looking at you guys to try and make eye contact and talk.
Yeah.
So I see it and my head sees something, then I say something.
It's fine. I'm just busting your chops. I
Yeah,
gave
no,
you
listen, it's not
majority
my strong suit.
compliments
But
there.
seriously, Slade, though,
Slade Ciccone, and
he was
it's a tough
the
name
big
to
part of the
pronounce.
Naylor trade.
It is. He was the key guy in that Naylor trade. He is a pitcher that it was I believe a first round pick. He was highly thought of, a top prospect with Arizona at one point. He has struggled over the last 2 years in his time in the majors. They'll probably have him down in the minors, I would think, for at least a month. There's not an obvious spot in the rotation. As bad as the rotation's been, not one guy has been so horrible that you're taking him out of the rotation at this point. They've all been, like, as a group, they've been not good. But no individual starter has been hideous that you're like, oh, we got to get him out of the rotation. You know what I'm saying? Like, who would you take out for him right now? I'm not, Logan Allen? Okay, maybe, but
Lively?
nah, I mean, Lively's pitched well enough. I'm not replacing him. Slade Ciccone has struggled in his time in the majors. There's no rush to bring him up. So they'll have him in the minors on a rehab assignment for minimum 3-4 starts, and then after that, they'll probably just option him to the minors, I would guess, unless somebody gets hurt. And it's pitching, so these things happen. Somebody could easily get hurt on the Guardians. But they drafted him as more of a long-term thing. Now, if he pitches great in the minors, yeah, we could definitely see him up here at some point. And there's talent there, but he hasn't put it together yet.
We only have one super chat, so I want to